audio. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order at 5:32. We'll do roll call. Let's start with Jacob Atkins.
Here.
Owen Cass.
Here.
Yasha.
Here.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Logo.
Google, just the way it's. Candy Garcia.
Here.
Yvonne McMillan.
Here.
Stephen Olson.
Here.
You go by Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay. And me, I'm Larry Sleeman. But before we get started, it occurred to me that we have lots of new people. I mean, this is Candy and Yasha's only second meeting. So maybe we should just talk about ourselves a little bit. So I'll start and just say, my name's Larry Sleeman. I've been on this committee for almost 4 years, and I've been a resident of Philomath since 1977.
Yep, I'm Owen Cass, been here 2 years, moved to just outside Philomath like 3 years ago. So I'm one of the at-large Mayors of Estates members.
Awesome. Yeah, in order. Yeah, I moved to Philomath in December, bought a house here off of 18th, which is awesome. And I work in Corvallis for the National Guard full time. So I'm out of the Corvallis Armory off of Kings. So
Oh, they just
remodeled it.
remodeled it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I survived it, thankfully.
I'm Yasha. I moved just outside of Philomath a year and some change ago. And I've been on the committee for 2 meetings.
All right.
I'm Jake Atkins. This is my first meeting. I moved to Philomath about a year and a half ago, and I live about 3 miles down Woods Creek Road,
Oh,
right on the creek there. Happy to be here.
I'm Yvonne McMillan. I guess I've been on the board about 5 years because I've been here.
yeah, you're much longer on the board than I am.
And I've been in Philomath like 32 years. After moving about 27 times in my life, I finally settled.
I'm Candy. I've been in Philomath since I was a kid. Been on the board since November. It was November. So a little bit more than 2 meetings, but yeah, so. I'm Chelsea Starner, the Assistant City Manager here at City of Philomath. I've been here with the city for about 4.5 years. And just love working for this community.
All right, good. Well, we're glad to have everyone. We'll get started. We have public comments, and we have twice as many people that we normally have. Who wants to go first?
Hello.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, I am Nicole Haxley. I am the Executive Director of the Philomath Chamber of Commerce. Do you want me to give a
talk with
backstory?
you?
Do you want me to give a backstory and how we kind of got this idea?
Sure.
originally?
Sure.
I took over the executive role last July, and come August, we all met as a board, the Philomath board, and decided that we needed to do more. We needed to bridge some gaps between us and the city. And one of the ways we thought we'd throw that together was we thought we would help sponsor the final music in the park. And we kind of threw that together as best we could last year. We gave away free hot dogs, food, watermelon, like a picnic. We sponsored that, and we called it a business after hours for us, hoping to draw in our membership a little bit and to make that event a little bit bigger for the Lions Club and the city. And that's kind of how it rolled at the beginning. Since then, it sounded positive on all ends that might be something we'd be willing to do again. And come our budget in January, we did throw a bunch of money behind it, so we have a little bit more of a backing for that event. And a couple of things that came to mind was attempting to make that event even bigger for all of you as well. Maybe bring in some new partners. I've had some small talks with Maxtivity. There was a lot of children at the park that could maybe benefit from activity from Maxtivity, and that might bring some light to Maxtivity. I've had some chats with Jackson Street Youth Services out of Albany. Most of you know they do a skate park night in our city park once a year. I've offered, no one used the skate park last year to my knowledge, and if that could just be kind of a trifecta. We have Massivity on one end, some more groups on the other. We've got the music going. It would just be a whole community event is kind of what my envision. And of course, we'll elevate the food a little bit, but trying not to take away from the Lions Club is what I want to make sure we don't do. But help as much as we can. So that's kind of why I think I'm here.
Yes,
Hit
yeah.
that idea again.
Right.
Okay.
I just suggested that Nikki come forward just to tell you all last year. Like Nikki said, it was kind of last minute and did run it by the park board, but it was, hey, we're going to try to do this, just FYI. So this year I just thought that it would be better if the chamber could come forward, let you know what they would like to do this year, and then hopefully we can fit that into our planning. I think what Nikki needs is just some direction on if that's something that you're interested in doing again, so that she and the board can be planning, make sure that their budget is being allocated for that and isn't being held for that if they're not going to be doing it. So I think a little feedback from you if you want to ask Nikki questions or just maybe have a little vote on it that you would like that to occur. I will tell you a caveat that we did ask for feedback from the Lions Club and Mud Oven Pizza. The Lions Club sent a letter that was surprising to me. Part of it was some feelings about the event, but I have talked to them since. It sounds like there was a lot of miscommunication happening. I don't think that there's much behind the letter specifically as regards to the chamber event. And I think that we're going to talk a little bit more about that at our next meeting as we're talking about planning for the summer. And just, I'm going to be meeting with the Lions Club at their meeting just to talk a little bit more about not just Music in the Park, but some other events and things that they help with in the community. So I wouldn't let that alter whether or not we have the chamber do this. We would just, if the Lions is interested in still doing something with us this year, I will just help bridge that partnership a little better this year, and we'll try to work together.
I met with somebody at the State of the City at the museum, and I thought it
That
was
was me.
you. And I thought we had a great discussion.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I
but-
think it really is just miscommunication. So I know we'll resolve it.
Yeah.
We'll get down to the bottom of it and get it resolved and find some opportunities there and see how they want to move forward. But in the meantime, I think we should let the chamber know if we're interested in.
And we're not in a huge
Have it
rush.
back.
If you think you need to table it, talk about it, muddle it over.
Like, can you wait until April?
absolutely.
So if we put this on our April agenda, okay.
So,
All right.
those that were there probably would be, were you at
I
that?
was not at the last one.
It wasn't, no.
I was there.
And Chelsea.
I was there. I was on
the board.
I was there.
And I thought it was positive. It was the first time we did anything like that. And the conflict that Chelsea's talking about a little bit is that we have our Music in the Parks on Wednesdays and Sundays. So on Wednesdays, the Lions Club they sell hamburgers and hot dogs. And then on Sundays, Mud Oven Pizza, I don't know if you're familiar with them, they are at a Sunday
Farmers
market,
market.
and then they just move over and do that. And so we have food vendors, different food vendors on each of those times. And I think the chamber came in, was the Lions Club there or not?
They ended up not coming.
No. But I can tell you, we double checked before we stepped on.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
So,
we did follow that.
the chamber provided food for people instead of,
The Lions providing
Right, right.
discounted
So
price, right?
that's the issue. Otherwise, I thought it was positive. I know at that time, we Pioneer, which is one of our sponsors, had a table there, and there's just a little bit more of excitement going on, I thought. And that was on a Wednesday night. So just a question for me, are you thinking Wednesday or Sunday?
I just figured we'd do the very last one, so which is the 20th.
Well, the last one I think is August 23rd, which is a Sunday.
Yeah, it might be a Sunday.
that
I
right?
sent you I think Crystal sent you the schedule.
So schedule-wise, we start off, and we haven't scheduled the school one yet. And we are
We
having,
have the school one. We have a date for that. I
okay,
didn't
that's
bring a
usually in
date.
May, right?
Mm.
So then we have one at the end of June, last Sunday in June. We have 2 in July and 2 in August. And the 2 in July and August are the second Wednesday,
Second Wednesday and
And-
fourth
fourth Sunday.
Sunday.
So I don't know if
And
any,
as far as dates, they could, if there's a different date that works better for you, that's fine.
Absolutely. The attention at the beginning was send it off with a bang and,
Right.
you know, pull it all together with a whole, you know, celebrate the success. That was kind of the attention from it.
so, back at you then, how did the chamber feel about it?
We were positive enough to where we even decided to give it its whole budget item. Like,
Okay.
can we reallocate those funds if we decide against it? Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, you know, but we would look forward to doing it again, with any adjustments that, you know.
All right,
So yeah, I think we'll add it to the April agenda. We'll be talking about music in the park planning anyway, but we'll specifically add this aspect of it. I'm not sure if I have my meeting with the Lions before then. But either way, we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth and we will be able to get back to you after that.
all right. Does anyone have any questions or are there any other comments?
If we're speaking about it at the next meeting, I can probably wait.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, it's better for us to notice that we're discussing something and deciding on it if we can. So since we have a little bit of time, we'll just go ahead and do that.
Chelsea knows my email if you need questions answered, or you just call the chamber, it goes right to myself, wherever I
Yep.
am.
And if you have questions, you can email them to me. I can interact with.
We're not looking to gain any money.
Great.
It's
a community event.
We're a nonprofit, not chamber's nonprofit.
Question, Lions selling the hot dogs and hamburgers, that is a fundraiser for them, correct?
It's not a fundraiser. They sell them at a discount. So they consider it a community support essentially as well. So.
But no intention to step on that.
Sure.
top.
Right.
Well, it just sounds like there's main dishes on both days, so maybe doing fruit and dessert, something.
I'll just say that as of this moment, the Lions has pulled this year, so we don't have a vendor for Wednesdays. So as of right now, that's where we're at. Like I said, I'm going to meet with them. We'll see where we end up, but that's where we are right now. So if they're doing it on a Wednesday, at this point, it's not, it's been given up, so that date is open for a food vendor. Yeah.
Just wondering, is there any interest to, instead of doing it all on one date, the last date, to sprinkle it through, like, I mean, maybe that's where we're headed in the future, but
Ironically, I have a board meeting next week,
Yeah.
and it's a line item to follow up with them, what I did with you guys, so totally can talk that through.
yeah, since we're already relying on probably a lot of the same people for sponsorships and it's
July might be tricky with Sip and Stroll. I might be a little stressed out.
I think it's something that overall that eventually we would like for the Music in the Park program, whether that's the chamber or we're looking at different larger sponsors for each one that's similar to what the chamber would do. We've talked about that in the past. We haven't had quite the momentum and volunteerism at the time to get it to happen, but we can definitely talk about that this year. We always try to talk about what do we see for this year, what's possible, what do we see that we'd like to try to look at for future years or.
I'd like to see that bridge for the Lions Club be reconnected.
Right, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. We would like that as well.
All right,
Okay,
yeah, we talked about like tabling as well
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah. yeah, we'll talk about that at our April meeting.
and do you have all of the dates?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I mean, because if if that last one doesn't work out, if you can,
yeah, we can
you know,
look at it.
say, okay, we can.
It sounds like the Wednesdays might be the one you need filled.
Probably, yeah, but we can talk about the
Yeah,
specific
okay.
date between now and April, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. I think so, yes. Sneaky.
Helpful.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Got the table.
Now, did you have something you wanted? No.
I have no testimony. I'm just here
We
to.
have an audience member that's exciting in person.
Okay, next thing we have on our agenda is approval of minutes. Everybody had an opportunity to see the minutes, they were available. So, and those of you that weren't at the last meeting, it's hard to say anything.
You can still vote on the minutes, just so you know, even if you weren't at the last meeting.
They can?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Does anyone have any corrections or additions to the minutes? So that would have been the December 2nd meeting.
No.
Then the appropriate thing to do would be to make a motion and have a second. So, all right. Have a motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes for the December 2nd meeting.
I'm
All
going
those-
to, for the record, really quick.
Yeah.
Motion was made by Yasha and seconded by Candy. That's just for our city recorder who does minutes.
Oh, sorry,
Okay, that's okay.
I forgot. All right, now, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Passes unanimously. Whoever's listening or watching.
Crystal.
Okay, so we got that taken care of. Now, we're under business, we have election of chair and vice chair. This is always done at our first meeting of the calendar year. So if you would like, let's see, what do we have? We just have those two offices?
Yes.
Chair and vice chair. I will take nominations.
Phone doesn't understand.
What's that?
Nothing, it was just my phone went off on your voice. So yeah, we can have nominations, or if you would just like to volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Right. Certainly, if you want to volunteer.
nominate someone or volunteer.
Yvonne?
Nominate Larry Sleeman for chair. Accept.
Any other nominations for chair?
Yeah, any other nominations for chair?
Sit and take.
Volunteering. The chair presides over the meetings. Generally, although I'm not always great about it, but Larry and I have a good working relationship. Generally, they would know what we're going to put on the agenda. They can have more involvement with that if they want to, or they can leave it up to staff. And then the vice chair fills in if the chair is not here. So primarily, you're just presiding over the meetings. You're running the meeting like Larry is right now. And then, of course, you're the park board chair. So if you go to music in the park, you aren't doing more, but you're the park board chair. So it is a different role on the park board. Yep. So either way, you can volunteer or nominate. Anyone else want to throw their hat in the ring?
Volunteers or nominations?
I'll self-nominate for vice chair.
Okay,
Vice chair.
vice chair. So if there's no more for a chair, we'll start by voting for
You wanna
the
do
chair
them separate?
position. Yeah, we'll do it separately.
All right, you sure there's nobody else?
No one else?
So
You want to throw your hat in the ring?
do we have to vote?
Yes, we prefer that you do vote.
Okay.
I can do it since you're
Feels weird.
you're currently there. So we currently have a vote for Larry Sleeman as for chair of the park board. All in favor of Larry Sleeman, raise your hand and vote aye.
Aye.
Okay. And that's no one else. So unanimously, we'll
Thank you.
get to have Larry Sleeman again for another year. Larry does a great job. So vice chair, we
Vice chair.
currently have
We have Owen,
Owen. Yvonne, do you want
Yvonne,
to vote it? No, Yvonne says great. Someone else wants to be our chair. Anyone else want to throw their hat in the ring for vice chair?
So no one nominated me for chair.
these are highly sought after. Yeah. Hearing no other ones, so then all those in favor for Owen to be vice chair, respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. It's elected unanimously.
Thank you, Yvonne, for your service as vice chair. You've done an excellent job wielding the gavel when Larry has been away. So.
And you
We
have done
appreciate
that
it.
for how many years
Mm.
as vice chair?
Several,
I think since I got
since you've
here,
probably
so-
been here. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this, number 2 is the big one right now, Music in the Park band selection. And Chelsea, Owen, who's taking this? Owen, you're the ones that,
I will intro it and then I'm going to turn it over to Owen. For everyone to know, we already talked about it a little bit, but Music in the Park is our annual summer concert series. This year, we had a really good turnout for bands, which seems like every year we have about the same amount or a little bit more, so we've been doing great with that. Owen has offered the last several years to help us kind of collect that data. It's been an immense help with working through this meeting. Every year we've tried to get a little bit better, and it's working pretty well. This year we did have a little bit of a glitch in our application system, which we've worked out. We also had the same glitch with another application we had open at the same time, but we feel like we've gotten that fixed. So we had a couple additional bands that got added after we already had our list of bands. So in any case, I'm going to turn it over to Owen, if that's okay, to talk about your process here and what you have for us.
Yes, we had 18 bands. I'll have to edit. Make some
Okay,
edits.
great.
I did last minute changes on this today. But yeah, we had 18 bands come through, and then used Google Forms to rank 1 through 5. And so you can see the, basically one is you feel that they should not play, 2 is they're not impressed, 3 is neutral. So 1 and 2s are, you're not feeling great about it. And then 4 and 5 are, you're really enthusiastic about it. And then what we also did this year was, and in previous years, is we ranked them within the genre. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And we've tried that now twice, or I've tried it twice to see if it's a better scoring system. And I'm just finding it's not as effective. Everyone's probably a little bit frustrated by that. So I think going forwards, we'll stick to the 1 through 5, and I'll add half scores as well. So you can tease apart your 4.5 or 5. And then with that information, we can actually look at that genre bias, and you can look at like, are we actually like effectively producing a score? You can actually separate and be like, are there 2 camps of people, maybe 3 people really like are into this or score similarly, and the other 4 score differently. So with just that 1 through 5, we can do plenty of analysis. So on the back of it, we just have the average. Oh, and I'll say for these results, for the 3 additional bands, I didn't get candies. Did you rank those?
I tried.
Okay.
I tried like 3 times.
Sorry, yeah.
I was-
And we messed, and finally I
I
emailed, Chelsea, and I said,
Pass that, Larry.
I said, just email us results
Oh, okay.
directly.
That's.
Okay.
Steven?
And so Stephen, I did get yours in there.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yvonne, I did not get yours in there. So you just put like a rank preference for DTW.
You want me to tell you?
You can tell us, or you can say if you're happy with that average score.
Well, new bands are not in here,
Yeah,
correct?
they are in there. So it's DTW Light, Catalyst, and Family Tradition.
Oh, okay, DTW Light.
So
Yeah, I think I just was a big thumbs up for them. Are they the one that have like 10
Mhm.
members or something?
Yeah, they don't bring 10 members here but it is that band,
So I
yes.
think they said number 1 for them.
yeah, they played well, and they're Philomath High students.
Oh, okay.
Even better.
It's,
Yeah.
That's cool.
okay, it's not the band I was thinking of. There's like a 10 or 11 piece band with Bryson Scar.
which one are we?
You're thinking of DTW. They just have a large band, and then when they come here, because we don't pay the large funds, they pare it down to
Okay.
a smaller band. But some of them are Philomath.
Funny, they didn't say.
Yeah,
how.
the root vegetables are Philomath students
Bryson's
currently.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll pause. At the end, basically what we're trying to do is decide on whether we all agree on this list and vote to move this forwards. So I'm just giving some background. So anyways, yeah, I did averages. So for 2 of the bands, or for 3 of the bands, we're just averaging this 5 scores. And then for the 15 other bands, there's 7 scores in there.
I will add too, just for reference, last year DTW Light played, the Nettles played, and Family Tradition played. So just for reference,
How many slots are there?
I think we have 5 this
Yeah.
year.
1,
Five.
2, June, July.
Well, there's only 5 slots,
Mhm.
yeah, plus the schools.
Right,
Plus the school.
right.
We
We
eliminated.
eliminated one.
Last year, we eliminated the June,
Mhm.
the Wednesday, June.
The first June concert last year.
So according to this list, we would go with the top 5.
Yeah, that's basically Chelsea starts calling and filling them in from the top down.
Okay, makes sense.
Looks good.
Based on availability.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so like one other thing you can look at, standard deviation, that just basically means, is there a big disagreement? So a low standard deviation means everyone's in agreement. Something I had in here, but I pulled out, but is, what do you call it, universal appeal. So as long as nobody scored a 1 or a 2, that band has universal appeal. They're not, nobody had some issue with it. And so the bands with 1s or 2s starts about halfway down the list. So we're not even gonna probably get into that territory of bands where someone had an issue. So this, yeah, the first half, everyone was in agreement, they're suitable, and then it's just a sort of a ranking from there.
I will, a couple things that have happened in the past, no matter how much we put it in all caps, people will not see what the fee is. We don't pay much. We did raise it, but it's still not a lot. So I usually have at least one band that says, what? I had no idea, even though I literally cannot make it. That's one thing. And then we've also had people who just are filling it out. I don't know where they're finding it. They're just getting it. I don't know how they find it, but they find our application, they fill it out, and then they say, well, we live in England, so we pay for our flight, or no. So sometimes we end up with those. I don't weed them out because you just never know. I had one person a couple of years ago, it didn't work out for dates, but she lives in Memphis, but she has family in Portland, and she comes and stays in Portland during the summer. So she was legitimately in the Portland area and interested in playing here, even though she was from Memphis. So you never know. But I do just work. Generally, what I've done is work through the list. I will also often ask several of those that are just below the list that I end up with if they're interested in being in a backup position. We have had cancellations before, and I have had to rely on backup musicians, which we're always very thankful for them. But that's just kind of how I work. I try to do my best to get it in the order that you all are looking for. But like I said, it can be a little hit or miss sometimes.
And I know Wild Hog in the Woods has a Philoma connection too.
Okay, great.
They've been around for a while, so some of you may have seen them or listened to them.
So any more discussion or questions about any of the bands or the process? Okay.
Do we need a motion or not? Or we just?
Yeah, and I would take a motion to ask staff to work through your results here and book some bands.
All right, somebody want to make that motion?
You can just say so moved if you want.
Okay, so moved.
Okay, Yasha. Okay,
Moved
You
and,
make the motion? Second it?
hold on a second.
so do you want to let Crystal know? or-
No, I think we heard it.
Okay,
Yasha and Yvonne.
okay. So the motion has been made and such that we would pursue these bands in that order. It's been seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Okay, passes.
Great.
So
And
now the fun.
yeah, and like I said, next month we'll talk a little bit more about logistics. I believe that Meta Oven Pizza is confirmed, but I'll have to check in again on my email for that. But I'll bring that information, who's confirmed, who's not, where we are with the Lions Club, if we need to look for some other interested parties or not, and then just some other ideas. The other thing I could do, and I'll make myself a note, is reach out to Maxtivity and the library. Last year, we had moved our midweek concerts to Wednesdays, which conflicted for the library. The library used to come on Thursdays and provide just free children's and family activities, but they weren't able to do that on Wednesdays, but I will reach out to both of them. We missed it last year. We missed having that at our weeknight concerts. And I do think that attendance was down a little bit because families really looked forward to that and would bring their kids there because there were other things to do besides just listen to great music. So I'll make a connection with both of them and see if either of them are able to or interested in committing to at least one or two of those events.
And maybe by that time, the new exercise equipment will be in place so you can go exercise.
Yeah, I don't know. We've got another project down there apparently that's, I don't know if I told the park board that, but the exercise equipment is delayed. I mean, I guess we'll get to staff updates, but maybe you want to officially get to staff updates.
All right. All right. Any other questions? Just for,
Thank you all very much.
all right.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch.
We'll see you. Just a couple things to be thinking of before our April meeting is that we have these 5 nights, but 6 with the school. And usually we have at least 2 people from this committee that are there on duty. And what does on duty mean? Just make sure things are going okay. And we do raise money for.
Philomath Performing Arts Benefit Fund.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you might be tasked to take around a empty water jug and have people put money in it.
People are used to
And
it.
then also,
Great.
I guess we introduce the band and talk a little bit about things. And so there's some responsibility. So last year we did it through.
That's maybe a sign up genius last year.
Yeah,
That worked pretty
and
well.
so that you can, do you all have the dates for those?
Are they online?
I'm not sure if they're online yet, but I can send them all to you.
Just so you can take a picture. Because
they were in previous
eventually,
packet, but-
before the summer comes, we'll sign up for those and make sure that we're covered on all of those. So those are you have responsibilities. All right, if there's no other discussion on music in the park, we'll go to staff updates.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just start with the exercise equipment. I believe it's Mary's River Watershed is doing a project in City Park to upsize the culverts and flatten out those dips when you drive around City Park. We're waiting for their engineer to finish that plan to ensure that we're not going to place our new exercise equipment in any part of their work zone or location where they're going to put some kind of construction material. So there is a little bit of a delay on that. I do believe that Public Works had said, well, we're just not sure. The city manager and I did push back a little bit to say, if there's any way we want to get this in by July 1st. It was a city council top priority for this fiscal year. It was one of their short lists. They have about 12 priorities, I think, for this fiscal year, and that was one of them. So we really would like to get that list completed for them so much as we can. So we are still going to try to get it in by July 1st, but we'll see how that goes. It's a little dependent on that other project.
Do we have the equipment?
We do.
What kind of equipment is it?
I think there ended up being 7 pieces. It's just a variety of
Outdoor work?
outdoor workout. We had an old wood style workout area in the back of the park, was just past its useful life.
Sure.
Had to be removed, and then the park board really said, even though we didn't have it in our capital project plan, we don't want to just take that out and not do something. So the park board was able to pass that message on to the council, who made it a priority. So it's been great. Park board went to farmers market, some outreach, got some public input. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, that is some of the projects types of projects you'll work on here, or things like that. So
And it's, if you're familiar with the park, I was really happy to see that they're putting the culvert in, having those dips
Yeah.
as you go around. And so the area that they're gonna put those in is on the north side of the park. basically. As you come in, there's a restroom over, and it will be over here, and then the creek is over there. So, it's an area that's not being used, but it will be close enough to the playground that parents could, work out there while their kids are playing on the playground. So it's gonna be nice. And you could work out while the band's playing too.
Sure, there you go.
Done.
Yeah, done, exactly.
I'll live.
Another update I have is related to the Flossie Overman log. So that was another capital project, was to replace, we had a log that they put an actual log at our Flossie Overman Discovery Park. It's a nature play park. Big tree, and it rotted, and kids were having so much fun like digging. I don't know if they were digging for grubs or what, but they were digging in it, and it also was past its useful life. And was removed. So the park board reviewed some more. They're engineered. They're kind of wood-like. They're pretty cool. And selected an option to replace it that will hopefully last longer. That we also hope to get done by the end of the fiscal year. It is budgeted for this year. I've been having a little bit of issues with the vendor getting them to finalize our quote, but it's on my list. I put a star by it to ping him again. So that'll be good. There's just a big empty space there at the moment, so that'll be great to get something back in there. And then the third thing I wanted to comment on is the park facility master plan. So we talked about that when we were reviewing the park and trail master plan. What we had talked about, we go through every year our parks and trails master plan. There's a list of projects in there, both short-term, long-term. We've chipped away at a lot of the short-term projects, and we were looking into the long-term list. And what we were finding was that it seemed like there were a lot of projects that maybe would overlap another potential project. So maybe something's come up. So a dog park, since that was done, the dog park was in there, but it's gained momentum. Doesn't mean we're getting a dog park, but it does mean that people want us to try to figure out if there is a reasonable space to plan a dog park for the future. And it occurred to us that when you have projects to put pathways all over Marys River Park, say, well, what if one of those areas is a great place for a dog park? And we haven't thought about that, and now we've put a path in, and then we decided to put a dog park in. And so the park board and I kind of said, let's pump the brakes and make a recommendation to the council to budget to have a park master plan, like a park facility master plan, which is separate from our Parks and Trails master plan. It's a little bit of a different document. It's actually about facility updates that we want to do and facility maintenance for Marys River Park, City Park, and Skirvin Park, home of the Frolic and Rodeo. So we own that. That is a park. It's considered a park where the rodeo grounds are. So they agreed to that. I believe it made the top priority list for this next fiscal year. I am going to apply for some grant funding for that here this month, actually.
Park?
Not for the dog park, but for a facility master plan for our large park facilities. So one of the things that would be on there is, does the community want a dog park? Is it, where would we put that? Is there a place for that? We're gonna look at those three large parks together a little bit more holistically instead of just separate, because we only have so much money. Money is getting tighter everywhere. We don't want to put a swing set in Park A when Park B has no swing set and could really benefit from it. So we're just going to try to think of them a little bit more as a whole.
Big picture.
Big picture. So that's an exciting project, and you all will be involved in that. So if we can get that momentum going, get some funding, we've got a couple things up our sleeve for options on how to make that project happen. But that will be pretty exciting to take a look at those things and see if there's anything new that we want to add. So that's my staff update, unless anyone has any questions about anything park related.
The master plan sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean,
going to be good.
I suggested we put the dog park right behind this building. But,
I mean, already is an off-leash dog park, and I have dogs, so my window faces the park.
barking. Board updates. Anybody have, Yvonne, do you have anything?
I don't know if you guys know about, we have dances is this what we're talking about?
That's fine,
Okay.
yeah.
Dances every Monday night at the Marys River Grange. And we have 75 to 175 people that come every Monday night. It's incredible. And it's line dancing and swing dancing, and there's lessons every week and stuff.
Family friendly, adults only.
No, family friendly, no alcohol. There's kids there, I mean, not a lot of kids, but you can bring kids if you want. And sometimes they get out there and dance, and sometimes they don't. Bluegrass, we have about 15 people coming once a month to the Bluegrass jam and workshop.
When is that?
That's the second Wednesday of every month at the Grange.
Okay.
And that's about it on my end.
Does everybody know where the Grange is? It's on the Grange Hall Road.
There's things happening at the Grange all the time, so.
And I'd like to say, just for some history, Yvonne got on the park board as being really interested in recreation for the community. We don't have recreation at the city of Philomath proper. We have parks. We don't have Parks and Rec. We don't have a Parks and Rec district. We have parks. That's where we are now. But Yvonne really has just done a great job. Went out on her own, found places to have events, grew these events. It's been really amazing. So they're not city events, but the park board really has tried to help promote those events as they've been growing, and it's
We
been,
had 3 years of Talk Like a Pirate, but not enough people
Yeah.
in the community.
I know, that was sad.
Appreciate it for what it is.
it was really great. Maybe someday.
We're from there, so probably didn't trust a lot of pirates.
Right, anything else from the board? Future discussion items, I had the chamber, the sponsorship. Well, by the April meeting, we should have a final list for bands.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
I will at the very least update you on where I'm at.
Okay. And then I'm not sure what else we
What
have.
about the Lions? Yeah, I'm not sure what, I want to say that I'm meeting them in April, but we'll at the very least have a discussion about what the park board wishes to convey. Yeah, they did submit a letter. I didn't choose to put it in the packet at this time. It's not really we need to give this to everyone. But I think part of that is because there was so much misinformation in the letter that I really just wanted to have a chance to have a conversation with them first to see are we still feeling that way? I feel that the letter was maybe written it was zero communication with staff here. So I just feel like it was, here's our letter, right? When there were some things that were years of things that hadn't come up. And so I really just do want to have a chance to have a conversation with them and see if we can answer some questions, have some communication, just person to person. So I will update you, but we will talk about it just as far as, is that something that you all want to still pursue? If that isn't going to work out, what kinds of directions do we want to try to take so that I do have a little bit of direction and you all do as well to help? I will mention the other thing is sponsorships. So Pioneer Connect has been our primary sponsor. I have not heard from them. We've both been extremely busy. I'm going to reach out to them here this week to make sure they still want to be our primary sponsor. I'd be really surprised if they don't. And then we usually have some smaller band level sponsors as well. I usually provide a letter if anyone knows a business that might be interested. It's usually like $200-300. It's kind of a low ask. So I will provide that letter for you all too between now and April as well, if you're interested.
Yeah, we've gotten several sponsors that way.
Yeah.
It's by personal contact and asking people, so
Yes.
that works out great. And that's also part of your responsibilities at the Music in the Park is to acknowledge those sponsors so that they get their due.
Right.
All right. Anything else?
was just thinking like future horizons, like the Visioning 2060 project that has a timeline and then well, the DOT work, and if that still has another year of maintenance contract, and if yeah, and if those
The
planters, if
downtown.
yeah,
Yeah,
think
that's
about that.
not park related, but it hasn't been signed off yet.
Yeah.
So the landscaping's still under.
nice.
Even though they did a nice job of putting benches and
Yeah,
landscaping.
Park
in there.
Lake.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It is Park Lake, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's still, we still don't have final sign off on that yet.
And sorry, probably the more important thing, the 2050 vision
Yes,
project.
2050. There is what are we calling it? The workshop, a vision workshop. The first vision workshop is this Thursday, actually. So the partners that are part of that have been invited to that. Our city representatives are the city manager and the mayor. So this is a visioning process for what do you want to see in 2050? And it's a lot of the partners in the community, school district, nonprofits, the city, some other partners, churches, just different partners, the county, are going to come together and try to, but we have a facilitator, so they're working through this process with a facilitator. And I think it's a good opportunity if anyone does have things that they want to share. We're going to have public input. It's a great place for you all to provide that. We'll have it on our city website. You all should be signed up for the Park Advisory Board portal. That's how we send out meeting notices, our packets. But you can sign up on there for our other notifications, like just our general city news. So those are good too if you're interested in having that information about different events or opportunities for communicating with staff or the council. So I recommend it. If the park board has if you have anything specific as a park board member, you could always email me that as well. If you're I really have this vision for 2050, I want to share this, and I will share it with the mayor and the city manager so that they can work that into our input.
Because there is a public survey that is going to be available, is that right?
Yes, I
mean,
believe
that's
that.
what I understood.
That the facilitators are going to put out a public survey.
But that was another question, though. I want to make sure that all of the new people connected into getting the agenda, taking a look at the agenda and all of the attachments ahead of time. So great, that's good.
Okay, and you can always email me if you don't get something, you have a question about anything, reach out anytime or call me. And I will text you sometimes, just as a heads up. Sometimes we are not sure if we have a quorum for the meeting, enough members to meet for our meeting. So sometimes I will text you even day of and say, hey, are you coming? So if you get a strange text from someone named Chelsea, it's me. And I will occasionally do that as well.
All right, it's not on here, but I wanted to thank Owen for all of the work he's done on this and getting it organized for us so that we can just go through and say, hey, this is cool.
So
and,
much more smoothly.
Yeah, worked out very well. And I think I was able to access all of the bands, maybe one.
One didn't provide a sample. I reached
Okay.
out to them and they still didn't provide.
Some of them were a little trickier for us old guys to figure out where they were, but
Yeah.
we finally got it. So anyway, thank you very much. Good.
No, thank you.
All right, anything else? All right, our meeting to an hour. It's now 6:21, so we'll adjourn at 6:21. And we'll see you, next meeting is April 7th, which is a Tuesday at 5:30. Thank you again.